broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
We'd start with Kevin Owens, you're wrong. You thought we'd start with Hideo Itami, you'd be wrong. You thought we'd start with Baron Corbin. Apparently you haven't been paying attention to the show the past couple of weeks. Definitely wouldn't do that.
We're not doing that.
And you thought maybe Finn Balor. You're wrong. This is Boss Country. Welcome to the NXT Rival After Show. I am your host, the Internet Soapbox Mark, and you're watching us live on YouTube. If you're not, we're live on YouTube every week.
You can be. You can be at a bus stop.
6 p.m. on the dot Pacific time. Make sure you're watching us, joining in us with the chat. Follow us with our hashtag ABTVNXT and tweet at us. You can tweet at me at SoapboxMark, and I am joined today, as always, by True Hobo.
Yes!
And where can the folks chat with you?
Well, you can chat with me. Oh, at True Hobo. We're doing it like we are supposed to.
Like we're supposed to do it. I wasn't trying to read off of a paper like Kathy did last week. I memorized it.
Robo-Kathy.
Robo-Cath.
Robo-Kathy.
Yeah. And speaking of Robo-Kathy,
not Robo
right here, Robo-Kathy. We're joined by Steve Kaufman, a member of our pay-per-view crew, and who you could. How often do you join in on some of the other wrestling shows? As often as you can.
As often as I can. This is my first NXT.
Welcome, sir.
I'm a Raw away. I'm a Raw away from
doing them all.
The whole checklist.
Did you do Total Divas?
I don't think.
Get out! No, I'm kidding. We've got a huge show, so we're gonna start. We're just gonna try to talk about as much as we can. Well, we're gonna talk about it all, but we're gonna try to analyze.
Did you watch the pre-show? I didn't watch the pre-show.
I watched the pre-show. It was just a lot of discussion. They had Charlotte on the panel to talk a little bit. The same video packages we've been seeing the past couple of weeks.
Did you see? So there wasn't a match on the pre-show?
No, there was a dark match.
Oh, okay, that's what.
Yeah, the dark match was Enzo and Big Cass defeating
the Vaudevillains.
The Vaudevillains.
Huh.
I mean, who else would there be? I thought you knew, but you guessed.
No.
Really...
I knew it was the Vaudevillains. I actually didn't know the outcome.
Well, it was our Long Island duo. How you doing? The first proper match of the night. We've got Rich Brennan, Corey Graves, and Jason Albert is his gimmick name right now.
Giant suit.
On commentary. Hideo Itami and Tyler Breeze starts the show, and we got a new prop from Tyler Breeze.
Selfie stick.
He's got a big stick.
And you know what? The minute I saw it, I went, why hasn't he had this yet?
Why? Yeah. Why has
this
that not?
This is the perfect prop for this guy. And now he was accosted by a fan.
That was awesome.
It was. I'm gonna break through the fourth wall here.
Like
we know who this
is. Man.
Gianna Daddio.
Yeah.
Is her actual name. I'm gonna go Big Daddy as well. Former Hooters model.
Ooh.
Surprise!
Why they decided to put that in there? I mean, maybe Patterson was out for a family dinner. That's a joke. And she's been at NXT for a few months now, and they wanted to kind of. I think that it should be a regular thing. Like they should have it to where Tyler is regularly accosted by people, and then the one time it's Marcus Louis, he's like, whatever. Oh!
And a wig!
Yeah!
A wig. She just sort of rises up above the other ladies. Just got a wig.
Maybe. Wonderful way to start the show. Itami was trying to get all over Tyler Breeze. You know, to be honest, who doesn't? Breeze hiding behind the ref, and gets the control instantly by kind of going through the referee and attacking.
Tactics.
Yep. Gets him in the corner. You're not smarter than me. Runs back to the corner. Itami chases him and kicks him in the head. Wonderful. A lot of kicks from Itami. Surprise!
What's your style again?
Why would he kick people?
Suplex. My style is suplex.
Right.
That's what I
My
remember.
style is wrist lock.
I learned that in Japanese. Breeze was focusing on the left leg. It looked like it kept changing, but I don't know if it was the camera
was
or
left.
not.
It was the camera.
Focusing on the left leg. Give him a gross figure 4 on the outside. And then what I'm calling a fake figure 4 on the inside because he didn't lock the leg and he put the
I actually like that a lot.
Yeah, that looks like there's some actual
Super
pressure being applied.
effective, Yes. I've seen that done in a bit different way, but that was the first time I'd seen it done quite like that. It was very effective. It would be very effective.
Would you?
Super effective.
There you go.
It is super effective.
Would you add that into your repertoire?
Sure.
Yeah.
That's so easy. It's stupid. It's like, I'm going to cross this, and I'm going to turn you over, and I'm going to pull real hard. It's so simple. Yeah.
Cross guard.
I like the clover leaf a little bit more, but personally.
Yeah, no, me too. There's a style to it, and it's a very strong move.
I like the hanging cloverleaf is one of my favorite. If the person's tall enough, it's not for every combination of people, but if you can just hang someone on the cloverleaf, it looks pretty devastating.
Yeah.
It's like a handheld tree of woe.
Yes.
We get another tease of the go to sleep, and I figure if there's anybody that we get to go to sleep on, it's Tyler, not the face Breeze. It turns to a roll up. Itami hits a kick, answered right back with the supermodel kick. A lot of just straight beating the crap out of Hideo, but he starts hulking up, starts getting into it. Something that we've been seeing a little bit more recently. Gets into a strike combo. The kicks to the chest could have been a little bit stronger because he was favoring that leg, but they were strong enough. And he hits the hesitation drop kick, and
I don't like the name hesitation.
Me either.
Yeah,
I like delayed.
It's delayed or stalled.
Yeah,
Either one of
stalled.
those. Like hesitation sounds like I don't want to kick you, but I'm gonna kick you anyway.
Which means you just hit like.
Yeah. Hesitation implies intention.
Right,
It's like
or
I
lack of intention.
intended to drop kick you. I intended the whole way.
I'm not gonna.
I don't know. Am I? Am I not? Am I? That's a hesitation drop kick.
Seriously.
I'm gonna hit him. He hits a running front kick for the win, and just points to the sky, and that's Hideo Itami, everybody.
Yeah.
This whole thing really fell apart for Breeze. Kind of in the middle. I think Breeze put a lot of stock into the idea that he had Itami. 100% had Itami, and then Itami just wouldn't break. And so Breeze kind of just went, I don't know what to do to you. And they started hitting him. It was a terrible idea. You don't punch a guy who strikes. You don't do that.
No, especially Hobo and I have been. We're kind of a preview. We've been going through. There's a list from one of my favorite rags that the top 25 non-WWE matches, and there's one Kenta versus Nagata Yuji, and they go 30 minutes flat, and it's a lot of strikes. It's a lot of back and forth. Absolutely physical without being like there's a move every second, and it's sort of I would recommend anybody who's trying to get interested in Hideo Itami to go find that match because it shows strike wise what a match can be and how it doesn't have to be a suplex fest, and how hopefully how they don't neuter the Japanese style, which is kind of strike heavy.
You just have to change a few things here and there. But the story in that match was fantastic.
When do we think Itami's going to do the go to sleep?
WrestleMania.
Ooh.
You
think he's
I
going to
got
be?
my money on never.
They're going to give it to him. The fans are starting to get restless now in terms of
And he's teasing it.
It's nothing. The first time was great. The second time was great. Now it's just beginning to be a joke. I want him to get him up there and do like an attitude adjustment. Like something
It's
getting
silly.
there.
How
Yeah,
long did it take for Ric Flair to hit the axe handle off the top? It took at least 30 years.
That's one of the ones that we're going to be getting it for a long time. Backstage, we see Kevin Owens with Regal and the referee for the evening, just kind of like
Keeping them away.
You better watch it. Like, yeah, keeping them away from each other so they don't kill each other before the match.
We want cameras when you do.
Yeah,
That's
no.
how we make money.
Free February. The next match, Bull Dempsey versus Baron Corbin. No disqualification match. And if if they didn't say that it was a no disqualification match, I don't think anybody would have known the difference.
No.
We've seen this before.
Yeah, well, I don't remember the match.
It was
Which one
Neville
was it?
versus Brodus Clay.
That's what it was. He brought out a chair once, and it was like, that was not. Why would you use the same style? That's terrible. Baron doesn't even do his whole like boring pose thing, and he runs down the ramp in a very wet version of his shirt, now available on shopzone.com.
He has a shirt, and Bull Dempsey
does not, for some damn reason. Let's not talk about it or I'll get mad. Paige never lost the women's championship.
I'm with you.
Starts out with a lot of heavy strikes. Bull ends up getting the upper hand on the outside, hits a vertical suplex on the ramp, rams Corbin into the pole.
How he did that was fantastic. How he threw Corbin in and then caught him and suplexed him almost all in one motion. It was beautiful. That's what I'm talking about. Never mind. Be calm, be calm.
We get our first tease. Bull looks under the ring. Everyone's like, oh, it's starting early. Nothing. Couldn't find what he was looking for. Just more punching each other. I had a total brain fart. What is the move called that Baron Corbin did? It's
which
in the Bull was running at him in the ring, and then he picks him up and he sends him straight. It's a spine buster. I was just watching. Okay? No, I wasn't. That night I was like,
he picked him up and he put him on his spine.
He probably busted his spine.
Busted it.
Tried to bust it.
Hell, like it was a rough night last night. I'll tell you. Anyway. And here is where everybody kind of took a step back.
Well,
Baron goes for a cactus clothesline, which is supposed to take the two of them out of the ring. Kind of, like hits him, kind of.
He went. Okay, all right.
Break it down.
I can explain this.
That's what you're here for, Hobo.
So, Baron Corbin goes for the cactus clothesline, puts all of his force into Bull Dempsey. Bull Dempsey, though, is lower and heavier. So his point of gravity is lower than the top rope, which means he's not going to be able to go over with that much ease.
Nope.
But with the force that Baron Corbin put into Bull Dempsey, it bent him backwards and applied a lot of pressure to his spine area as well as his chest with the compression of the clothesline. So when Bull Dempsey actually fell out of the ring, he fell out of his own accord. The cactus clothesline worked and did not work. The majority of the damage done was to Baron Corbin because he missed it and sort of took a flying leap right out of the ring. But Bull Dempsey was not without damage, and he quickly countered on the outside.
That's it. There you go. Yeah, he hit what? There's no name for it yet, but I call it the bull over when he just runs full weight into him.
I like that.
Real good.
He did.
Bull over sounds right.
Rolls him back into the ring, hits the headbutt for a 2 count, grabs the chair. Here we go. Really gross end of days, and that was it. That was the match. But to be fair, with such a low center of gravity and not a whole bunch of momentum that Baron Corbin usually requires for that move, he still pulled it off, and it showed his power.
It could have been. It could have been better.
Definitely.
If Corbin stepped through him, maybe with one extra step, hooked in, and then went. But he kind of just sort of grabbed him and
tried to lift as opposed to
should have stepped
kinetically.
through him.
Because they were trying to make him look strong and.
Oh, no,
As long as Baron looks strong.
Yeah.
As long as a friend of the show, Marty DeRosa, supposed to be here tonight, but due to scheduling conflicts, traffic conflicts, Los Angeles is a terrible place. He's still getting used to it. Not joining us, but he likes to say as long as Reigns looks strong. So as long as Baron looks strong.
No, the important part of this match for me, the ending being what it was, which I saw coming, but that's not important. The crowd seemed to start to turn on Baron Corbin.
And explain. Let's hear a little bit more about this.
They saw the facade, and it began to crumble, and the depth of Bull's moveset and the way in which he works began to connect with the audience, and he was winning them over without really trying.
The only thing that we saw from the only new actually no, we've seen Baron do a spinebuster before.
Yeah.
In this gimmick. So again, we didn't see anything new out of Baron Corbin.
No, we haven't. But Bull Dempsey, while not necessarily seeing anything new, everything he did looked great. And that's what I like about Bull. Everything he does looks great. Even that suplex on the outside, it was just a suplex, but he meant it. As stupid as that phrase is in wrestling, he didn't hesitate with that suplex. It was, I'm going to suplex this guy on the outside. I don't give a damn what anybody has to say about it.
That's what a suplex has to look like. Him screaming that. That's...
Yes. He meant everything that happened. And it didn't seem that Corbin was on the same level. And as a result, the audience started to consider Bull to be the more talented individual.
What did you think, Steve?
Pretty much that, I think. Pretty much all those words.
I said all the words.
No, the audience is starting to get really hip to... If they just put a big guy out there and give him like 6-7 moves and don't have him talk and try to make him John Cena, the audience likes to turn very quickly.
It's taken them a lot of time to turn.
Yeah.
I've been on Twitter a lot. People are so pro Corbin, and I respect that. That's fine. I'm not saying that's
cool,
wrong.
That's cool.
But people are wondering why I'm so pro Bull, and you helped jog my memory with this. So let's just say there's a guy that management is trying to push down our throats as a main event player. Let's just say
this is all hypothetical.
Hypothetically,
Hyperbole.
let's say
Completely.
there's a guy pretty tall. He's got a nice head of hair, some pretty cool tats, and management is trying to put him and set him up as the next big guy. But there's this other guy that's been around a little bit longer that physically, for me, I relate to more. Here's this bigger dude, about my height. He's not necessarily ripped, but he can kick a good ass, or a badass, being a badass himself, and has a little bit more technical skill on the surface. So that's where I am. I'm like the NXT brass are trying to push this guy down my throat, but there's this other guy that I want, and
So skill and connectability are really important for the audience?
I would say so.
Very important.
Yeah,
I mean,
I could only see a Superman. I'm sorry, an End of Days as much as possible. A big fan of that gentleman, and I see where they're going with him, but you can't deny that there's something in the other guy.
Let me just say though, Roman Reigns is great in the ring.
He's fantastic in the ring, 100%. Like, but that's the thing that I'm going with is that now in two sides of the company, there's this dude that people are pushing on, and there are these other guys that are a little bit more relatable that they're like, nah. We don't get him.
no. He should be out 10th in the Royal Rumble.
Generally, how wrestling works is
Dempsey was in the Royal Rumble. I don't know what you're talking about.
you put more of the gimmick on a guy who has less of the skill.
Yes.
So Bull Dempsey has no gimmick, a lot of skill. Baron Corbin, a lot of gimmick, little skill. I, however, am the exceptional rule.
I will 100% agree. Yeah. Both. Again, when Baron Corbin first showed up, sans gimmick, sans lone wolf, sans shirt, he impressed us. I really liked him.
Sure.
And I wanted to see more of him. And then they gave him this, and it's like, well, you took away the stuff that we liked. And you gave him a motorcycle that we never see. He revs it up in the back and then walks out.
We got to see the motorcycle.
That might be an evolution. He might be if he goes up.
What if it's a dirt bike? How very...
No, but what if it's a Vespa with he's just playing his music out the front, and then he's like,
or a golf cart just really souped
All right,
up.
they are in
Florida.
makes me want him to feud with Marcus Louis. Rides out a little Vespa.
Okay, all right, we gotta move on. We're 2 matches in. Backstage, you see Regal and the referee with Sami Zayn trying to you all right? Does he talk to you? Don't let him get to you. And then we also see Becky Lynch and Bayley in the back preparing for the Fatal 4-Way later in the night. This next match, the Lucha Dragons versus Bam.
Let me just say that Blake and Murphy looked like the champions by the end of this match.
Yes. They did.
I don't want to say much else.
I was going to start taking notes on this match when very close to the beginning. Now, I'll preface it by saying this. Hunico's run as Sin Cara hasn't been entirely clean. It's been cleaner than Mystico's. He hasn't been 100% clean because of the style of the Sin Cara character. And every once in a while, like we saw tonight, the missing of the head scissors, I think they covered that well. Where I think it was Murphy in the ring was just like, what? He bam bam, go for a pin.
Yeah,
like that's what you do. So then that was like, okay, we can let that go. They covered that fine. And then when Callisto kind of lost his footing on the dive,
yeah,
ow, just ow.
Well, he recovered. He didn't even need that foot up.
He did.
Just gone.
We just quick highlights of the match because I want to talk about what it means a little bit more. The toss neck breaker from Blake and Murphy on a Sin Cara was pretty awesome. The spike kneeling Hurricane Rana from Callisto,
Short Rana.
Gross and wonderful.
I think I've seen that before. I'm trying to think of from whom.
It might have been from Callisto.
More
like
maybe
earlier.
Yeah, much earlier. The pin exchange, like when they kept exchanging pins, like that was kind of like nobody was feeling it, and I'll get to that. We saw a reversal of the roll through powerbomb. They knocked Callisto off, and we saw it implemented in a double team move. We've been talking about it for weeks. The return of the running vertical suplex and followed up by a frog splash for the win.
Yes,
and that was great. So what I want to talk about is how a quote unquote mess up, how a botch, quote botch, hate it.
It's just
how it can affect the way a match can move from there, because once those two things happened, they were on different pages. As athletes in that ring, you've got to be on the same page, or stuff like that can happen. And we saw that dissolve pretty quickly, and as a result, the fans couldn't really get into the match. They were happy that Blake and Murphy won, and it just kind of it enhances the idea of the NXT excuse me, and the Performance Center being a place where it is a learning environment. This may be like a showcase, this may be a recital, the NXT recital, but that's the next one in 2 months. There's going to be an X in there somewhere, but we're seeing that this was the first, this as well as the arguably the Cactus Clothesline in the previous match, the first chink in the NXT armor that have been these specials. The specials top to bottom have been immaculate, and wrestling fans are like, oh, this is the pin, this is wrestling. Like
that's why I don't like people talking about a show or a special that like it's infallible, because now you're building it up too much and it's just gonna fail you.
Yeah.
Why are you talking about it like this?
And what are your guys' thoughts about this being a recital, and this is the fifth live event on the WWE Network, $9.99 for February. You get Fastlane for free. What do you think about where can they go from this? What can be done behind the curtain to help these guys not necessarily not fix the botch, because those things will happen. Accidents happen all the time.
Those things happen on regular pay-per-views.
But how to recover from that and get back on that same page, and especially, how about Steve? I want you to go first. How about I would like to know from being in the ring how that sort of thing works.
Well, I think they're doing it because if you're at the training center and you're part of the NXT roster, from what I've read on the sheets, if you will,
naturally
they have they have a grueling schedule of we're all gonna do group workouts at this time, and then this time, and then this time, all the way into the evening, and then you have to do house shows all across Florida just to cut your teeth. That if you do that with a group of people, and you know that group of people has your back, you'll eventually be on the page with everyone in that group.
Okay.
In the certain teamwork style. Maybe it's because
they just need to work more a little bit more together in order to see how to improve that.
Of course.
Okay.
That's very much the dojo style. Everybody works together, everybody eats together, everybody lives together, and then they progress their craft together. As recovering from any incident that is not planned, your idea of a recital is good and it works. especially when you're playing against guys like Bull Dempsey and Baron Corbin.
It was a suggestion, to kind of.
But you're right, with the exception of guys like Sin Cara.
I agree. Yeah.
Who have seen the main roster, who have been up and now are on NXT to help the younger talent, but it's hard to do when they themselves are creating situations, arguably creating situations where the work is not of the highest caliber. Where are you supposed to look up to when you're working with somebody who's been on the top and cannot maintain the workmanship? It's very difficult.
And would that be, excuse me, would that be a comment on the performance or on the Sin Cara character? Because it seems like...
I have no clue. I can't tell you. Because I'm not equipped to make that sort of estimation.
A lot of the Sin Cara move style as has been evolving both now on the main roster these past couple of weeks and in NXT has been a lot of near hit sort of stuff, because for his head scissors, it's not in the quad area, it's the heels.
It looked like he was going for the arm to me.
Yeah.
So obviously,
for arm drag, like Lucha arm drag.
That's what it looked like. So if it was supposed to be a head scissor, he was completely not anywhere he was supposed to be.
Yeah, that's where the miscommunication was.
But in recovery, you have it is only through time and experience that you learn how to recover from something that does not go as planned. And I recently was watching matches from Europe, England primarily. They have the best recovery. I don't know how to explain it. If something does not go to plan, one guy will grab the other guy and just punch him in the head.
It's like, don't do that again.
But there isn't that pause.
Yeah.
This is my point.
Yeah.
The pause is the part where people go, oh, something messed up.
Yeah.
It has to move seamlessly. If there's any sort of mistake, one guy, probably the guy who did not make a mistake, has to jump on the other guy, recognize that there was some sort of mistake made, and take over. He has to then put himself in the driver's seat.
See what you did there.
I did that. You have to put
over.
yourself in the driver's seat to then get back on course to where you need to be. That's just how it has to be, because the guy who made the mistake cannot suddenly spring up and go, oh, well, I'm totally fine now. I did not make any sort of mistake.
We will see if that is the last of the Lucha Dragons.
No, I hope it's not.
No, I don't mean as a tag team, not as.
I don't want this to be their last note
I hope so,
as a tag
so
team.
well.
I want to see them again, and I do know that they're probably going to be reviewing tape and talking to people backstage. And it was probably a long night after their ring efforts were concluded.
And I believe tonight they're recording the next next set. So again, if anybody goes or reads things, please do not comment in.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. Do not comment in. We go week to week. We know that it's like 4 weeks, however much they record. Let everybody else experience it like you're supposed to. Appreciate it.
Because that was going to be my question.
Right? No,
I saw some stuff.
They're not even done yet.
Actually, are they? What time is it over there? They gotta be.
It's like 9:30 there.
Before the match is over, we see a little bit of Takeover isn't over.
We know that it's like 4 weeks, however much.
Hey, it's me talking 5 minutes ago. Get off your damn phone. Should I punch the crap out of you?
This is Inception. Don't touch it.
Solomon Crow will maybe making an appearance. Something we will find out more next Thursday.
Very excited.
Ooh.
Very excited.
Our next match, and what until the night continued, people were calling the match of the night. Hold on. No, I said until the next two matches happened, people were calling the match of the night, and that is and that'll bring up a meme after that. Yeah. Adrian Neville versus Finn Balor, and so I wasn't here for the last Takeover after show, and you and a guy named Sean Ricker, never heard of him. Kidding. We're talking about about the face paint and how the thing wasn't entirely hitting with you. Tonight we saw the change. We saw it wasn't just him in face paint. We saw that this paint brings out a different side of him. Okay, so he when he attacked the camera, or when the monster attacked the camera at the bottom of the ramp, one of the just like, oh god, he's different. He's not there. That's not him. Like, that's the coolest bloody thing. I think Lance Storm said, okay, I think Finn Balor beats Undertaker for the coolest entrance ever. And it's like, that's some shoes to fill.
That really is.
Adding the extra layer of the fog in the corner.
Oh, that was
so cool.
Oh, that's it. Oh, you got it.
And then he came out of it and was like, oh, that's splooch. Kid show, but
We weren't the only ones.
no. So now, Hobo, what did you guys think? Did this entrance do anything different? Well, it did do it. What did this entrance do differently for you that the first one may not have?
As a second entrance, I liked that there was
The Evolve.
the Evolve.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can never do anything once and hit it perfectly. It takes repetition. And he had only done that once, and the second time, I think he understood what it was that he needed to do differently to make it a more grandiose show. And I think everybody else did. They added the fog in the corner, which added an extra element of otherworldliness. Wow, man, just wow.
The one thing that I wish they could have done better was not have the shot of the crowd doing the thing. That's the one production note I would have for that. But aside from that, it was.
I think I saw a picture on Reddit this morning of him dressed that way, hugging a little girl, and the little girl just
like, nope,
freaking
nope,
out.
Nope.
And it was that.
Owens' daughter. So the match is almost impossible to take notes on.
Yeah.
I actually did.
I know, I did too, but it was. I mean, a lot of. Similarly to what we said about the Balor and Itami match, was there was a lot of back and forth, but it wasn't the normal type of back and forth that we see. Like, it wasn't. It was chain, but it was kind of like new chain.
This was you could see
It was off the chain.
or
I'll see myself.
or not.
I'll see myself out, guys. Thanks for having me.
No, stay. It wasn't. You could see the change in Balor's in-ring style. There was something very different about him. He was just sort of attacking, and Neville attempted to take him to the ground sort of constantly and consistently, just trying to keep him down, and it was the change in style that I think the crowd did not want to see that. They wanted to see high flying.
Yeah.
No.
This was it.
Needed. Mm-hmm. This was absolutely what it was.
A lot of headlocks, a lot of chin locks, just keeping Balor on the
Keeping
ground.
the monster in the cage.
Exactly. Ooh. If he needed a chair and a whip, just that the stall suplex from the apron. Thing of beauty.
Yeah.
And then Balor hunting Neville on the side of the ring. That's what it was. He was hunting him, coming over the steps, just like, he ain't ready. Yeah, I'm ready. And then he goes and he runs and just hits the hesitation, a delayed drop kick
Through the barricade.
That was just like, he's it. That's what, and that made me go, that's why he has a second shirt before other people have first shirts. Yeah. And Sami Zayn new shirt. We'll get there too. Shirtgate. I would be wearing a Sasha Banks shirt, but I couldn't afford one day air.
You're not a boss.
I didn't say I was.
Okay.
I'm a new hire under the boss. I don't know.
You didn't just join the bandwagon, though.
No.
I've been the company.
No.
You've been with the boss a long time.
Yeah, I've worked my way up from the mailroom. Terrible. Hi, Sasha. Balor hits a diving stomp on straight to Neville's head.
The back of his head.
Yes, and just.
It looked like it was over to me.
But Nev popped back up, hit his kicks as he does. You think that he hits Balor with a good one. Balor retaliates with the Pele kick, and Neville retaliates with a super kick, and they're both down. And it's just like, what the hell just happened?
And the dives in this match were great.
And the
Balor
knock dives.
kept trying to dive, and finally he breaks through, and Neville is forced to catch him as he bounds over the top rope. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
You can't just get a dive; you gotta work for it.
It was the anticipation building. Just it didn't. everybody wanted it to go from 0 to 60, but you've got to work up to that speed in order to build the crowd, because then the crowd gets antsy, but that means they're getting more excited. They're not seeing what they want to, so then you gotta give them a little hint every now and again.
It's all
awesome
about
pacing.
It's all about stamina.
Yep.
The crowd cannot last if it goes from 0 to 60 and maintain, because it can't maintain. They'll be burned out. So you gotta escalate.
Have they done an Iron Man match in NXT yet?
They should.
No.
I will say no.
Okay.
I don't think so.
If there's anybody that can do an Iron Man, an Iron Man match, it is Adrian Neville.
Yeah.
That man can do anything that he wants.
His power, his speed, his endurance, all of the
I actually felt that when Sami Zayn beat him for the title, that was because they were going to call him up. Like, I thought that was happening.
Yeah, I mean that's what the rumor is now for everybody. It's like, oh, they took the title off him. That must mean that they're going up.
It's a knee-jerk reaction.
I know, like, well, but seeing him in the ring constantly, I'm like constantly delivering. I'm just like, well, what else does he need? Like a spot? Like, do you need a reason for him to come up?
We talk about it a lot on this show, as well as the Gimmick Pod, which you can follow on Twitter at the Gimmick Pod, which is WWE has created the proving grounds, but the grounds aren't ready yet. Like they're training people for an ecosystem that doesn't exist.
That's fair.
Yeah, and like people are getting attached to two ground and pound guys who beat the hell out of people, and then when they go up north, so to speak, they put them in face paint, and they all of a sudden they're claiming that they're better than Demolition and the Road Warriors, and it's like, those aren't the guys we liked.
Yeah.
What did you do? Whereas Bo was the same, and I think that's the thing where they brought everybody up straight as they were in NXT, so Adam Rose and Bo Dallas, but then when they didn't work, for you audio listeners, I was using air quotes. They decided, well, we need to change things when people come up, so hopefully that doesn't happen with anybody else.
Like, hopefully they don't page anybody.
I mean, Paige is still she's coming back. This most recent storyline with her and the Bellas is getting her back to those anti-diva roots, even though she's on Total Divas. But either way, we're getting off topic. We got two huge matches to go through, and we're not even done with this one. The catch German suplex, and then just the straight lift German suplex bridge.
Yeah.
My God, is that man strong?
Power! Stats, all of his stats are off the charts.
The second rope corkscrew.
Phoenix.
That was a Phoenix?
That was a Phoenix. Yeah.
Okay, I was trying to. It looked like one, but it was like, I don't even know what you call that. So it's like,
I did love Jason Albert. That was a split. I don't even know what that was.
Yeah, just too excited. Bunch of big elbows, sling blade, gross lariat. We get the reverse lifting DDT, but Neville ends up trying to hit the red arrow, knees up. There's a roll up. Nope. Hits in the corner, lands the corner drop kick. Coup de grace, huge corner drop kick, and the coup de grace landed way too disgustingly. It always does. Yeah. It always does. It's hard to do a double foot stomp from the top rope and not make it look like, oh, they're probably okay. Wrestling's fake. Like
crush a man's sternum with both of your heels. Yeah, super.
Finn Balor is our new #1 contender, but who will he face? We won't know. The match ended with a handshake. It wasn't begrudging. The guys, they've fought before. They will fight again. And this is just another chapter in their storied careers.
This was one of the most intelligently constructed matches I've ever seen. I really mean that.
No, I can agree with that.
Absolutely.
Even the Nagata Kenta match that I was talking about earlier, that one was like, I hope they're doing what they're doing, and they built the story really well. But this one was even better.
Yeah, this was because I mean the other one we're talking about, it's very old bull, new bull.
Yeah.
This was
two young bulls.
The story was on a whole different playing field. It was completely different.
The challenge
perfectly constructed.
The challenge posed by this match was beat that. our next match was the fatal 4-way match for the NXT Women's Championship. And what I didn't like was all of the tweets after this saying, wow, the Divas division in NXT is something else. And I was shut your mouth.
Keep sending them
No, but that was from like Emma and Lana and whatever.
Yeah,
like people higher up. Even Summer Rae. Said, "Oh, the Divas down there." Like, no. Damn, these are women, not divas. Damn it.
Women, Amazon.
So, yeah, sure, especially. So in any multiple person match where first pin wins it, what do you want to do? You want to eliminate the champion. Yeah. So everybody starts going after Charlotte remains strong, but she gets thrown into the screen on the apron and is out for a little bit.
Broke the screen there for a little bit.
Oh yeah, distorted it.
Yep.
As a wonderful transition that they put in. It was post-production. Team Bay, shut up. It's still real to me, damn it. Team Bay on Bayley, throw her into the corner. They both go for a pin. Neither of them can get the pin because it's them.
They're hungry wolves, man. They're good when there's meat, but as soon as that runs out, they're at each other's throats.
And Becky's like, no, you go ahead and do it. Grabs her in. It was a pump handle position, right?
Yeah, it was just a pump handle toss.
And Sasha bounces off like a fly on the windshield. Yeah, it's too many people. Lynch hits her, leg drops on Bayley, starts going after that leg again like we saw in their last match, hits a dragon screw, twerking the leg. Some people wish. Bakes and Lynch start going at it again. Sasha sets up the knees but ends up missing it. There's so much. And Charlotte ends up hitting her two exorbitant spinning neck breakers.
They're a bit much.
Especially in a match with three other women. You can't waste your time. Just give them a neck breaker. What the hell?
You're not getting paid by the minute here, honey. Just finish it.
She might be. She's the boss.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she showed her ring awareness when Charlotte was coming after her with the spear, threw Lynch into her, and she's like, oh, missed that. And then Charlotte lifts Sasha up and looks like it's going to be a suplex, but Bayley runs in, catches her, and gives her a chest breaker.
Yeah.
Which was just, and even Charlotte was like, what the hell is that? Like, why would you do that? It was
smart. It's smart. When you see something, you gotta go for it, you know? Even if it is a double team. It won't last, but it at least eliminated one part of this whole thing.
For only a mere thing, because Banks was back up.
When you're doing it, you certainly hope it's going to be forever. I'm going to try and hurt you as badly as I can, because I don't want to deal with you
forever. Sasha gets back up pretty quick, ends up hitting a double knee stomp on Charlotte in between the top and second rope, and Becky in between the second and bottom rope.
Lasagna.
Yeah,
that was good.
Yeah. Layers. That's like an ogre. She kept going for a pin on one person, kept pinning on the other person. No. One of the things I love about Sasha is her audibles, and because it's just totally that's her. It's like, no, I did the thing. I should win. What the hell's your problem?
It's one of those things that's completely in the moment. It's totally in the moment. You can't pre-plan that. And everybody thinks wrestling is super planned, but it's the little things that you can't possibly plan that people just love the most. You can't plan the reaction like that. She meant it.
Lynch and Shaw roll out of the ring. Bayley's back in, ends up hitting her series of the corner elbows, adjust the hair. I'm lost.
I wanted Bayley to win this match so much.
Well, we'll get there. Hits the top rope Rana, Bayley to belly.
Belly to Bayley.
Belly to Bayley. Okay. She dive through. What are my notes? Okay. We on the outside, Bayley and Becky are. Oh, that's what it was when she dove through like Sami Zayn and hit the kick on Becky Lynch. That's what it was. She was talking about a Sami Zayn moment, and that certainly was one. They're fighting on the outside on the ramp. Out of nowhere, Sasha dives through the middle rope, hits a crossbody. It looked like she caught her foot a little bit, but she still landed relatively clean on the two of them.
She was going so fast.
She was.
It didn't really matter.
Like, audio listeners, should go onto YouTube. Again, Charlotte's just like, what the fuck? Like, what just happened? And ends up diving on all three of them.
Yep.
Everybody out of the pool.
Yeah.
She's super tall. She could nail all three of them at once.
Mm-hmm. She throws Becky back into the ring, hits T-bone suplex for a 2 count. Bailey hits German suplex. There I am. Again, notes. I have separators, but I need to get better at them. Hits a top rope belly to Bailey on Charlotte, and Sasha throws her out of the ring and gets on Charlotte. And I was like, that's it. Here we go. New champion. 1, 2, no. And it's just like, what the crap? Crossface. Doesn't lock the arm, but just full on
hyperextending that spine.
Yeah, just and that's a tall drink of water. Extended it pretty far. Just torquing it huge, and Charlotte's crawling towards the ropes, and she can't quite make it, but she's fighting. No matter what she's fighting, Sasha ends up right as Charlotte
seems to a crucifix, right after that.
1, 2, 3, and we have a new NXT Women's Champion, and it's the Boss.
I thought that was a perfect ending because it's a choice. Tapping out is a choice, and we see this in more and more combat sports. There are guys who are in a precarious position who choose not to tap out, and they will have their elbow dislocated, their arms broken, legs broken. Tapping out is a choice because at that point you have so much adrenaline running through your system, you couldn't feel anything anyway. But your muscles are exhausted after being put in that position and stretched that far. Your muscles are exhausted. So after she went and pinned her like that, the body can't react. The muscles are dead. It was great.
Yeah. Depending on the hole, it could be tap or snap.
Pretty much.
I just wanted to say tap or snap. It's a good rhyme.
Alliterations are fun. And I couldn't think of a better way for it to end. She pinned Charlotte in the middle of the ring. Like, you don't in a Fatal 4-Way. There is usually some sort of, like, you don't see that clean of a finish very often. Like,
no.
I was talking to him. I don't think there's been a better Fatal 4-Way except for the other one than NXT had, and I think these two were tied between that. The story that they were telling, the falsies essentially, and the action was well paced. Everybody was in the ring. Everybody was where they should have been. Like, oh, this would be a good time for another person. Oh, there they are, and they're gonna fight. Absolutely solid. I don't think there will be another Fatal 4-Way that the main roster can do that can beat either of the ones that NXT did.
The gauntlet has been laid down, main roster.
Well, that's another thing. Is like, start we gotta have Fastlane do better than the NXT show.
Let's not even compare the two.
No,
It's
you
apples
can't.
and oranges.
It really is.
And I made the prediction last night, and I'm going to carry it through here. I want to see what everybody else thinks. I think before the end of the year, the NXT Women's Championship match will headline a NXT special.
I want to see that.
I think they can do it.
It's pretty ballsy, but I agree. It can happen.
This one practically co-headlined.
This
night.
was my match of the night.
Really?
Yes.
Yes.
There were some things that they could have done, and we'll get there. We are kind of running out of time, but there are things that they could have done in the Zayn and Owens match. Really small things that could have really taken it home for me.
I'll say that this match for me stole the show.
It did.
Stole
Yeah.
the
100%
show,
it stole the show.
It's not match of the night. Those can be two different things.
I'll agree with that.
Bailey, though, in this match, she looked like such a bruiser.
She was.
She's taking on all comers. Even Charlotte. Charlotte has finesse. Bailey now is just figuring out how to slug it out in that ring. Just trying to eke out an existence for herself. It's great to watch.
Throwing her weight around. She's got it in this division now.
Not to say that she's heavy, but she knows how to.
She knows how to throw.
Yeah.
Even if you don't, like, Sasha knows how to throw her weight around. She's what, 80 pounds?
I don't know. She's kind of stiff.
She had a
12 pounds?
Sasha, and that's another thing about Sasha that I like, is that she's breaking the mold.
A little bit.
Arguably, you know, but she knows how to use every single pound that she has. Like that knee smash in the corner. That's that's her using every single ounce of weight that she has in one of the most devastating moves that can be done.
Well, she has a tag team opponent for that move. Gravity.
Yeah.
The Earth is helping her with that move.
Yeah, let's see Bull Dempsey do that move.
Kill somebody.
So Charlotte approaches with a handshake. They kind of hug.
Yeah,
kind of hug. Push them off. Woo! That's the boss. I highly recommend anybody who isn't subscribed to WWE Fan Nation or whatever their YouTube page is called to subscribe, because Sasha's interview after her title win, first question was answered in gimmick. Second question was, okay, we know what the boss... No, it was Renee Young. So it's just like, all right, so we've heard from the boss. What does this title win mean for you? And tears. And it's just... it's amazing.
I love
That's what you got to do. And even better, we'll get to it, was Owens' post-match interview. So let's get to the main event. I want to talk about it as well as just go through some of the basic stuff. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, 2 months to the day of stepping foot into that NXT ring. He has a shot at the NXT Championship, and I liked the pre-entrances, like that extra anticipation of them on either side of the entry heading up. I think that was really cool.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it should be. The anticipation shouldn't just be building in the ring. It should be building on the way to the ring. It should be building in the locker room.
That's why we had this stuff backstage with the wrestling.
The anticipation should be building constantly. If it's a main event like that, with the story that they've told, in depth, the way they have, anticipation's just built. It's sizzling. It's ripe and ready to be plucked.
Agreed.
Yes.
Yes.
I have things to say, I swear.
Okay.
He's just saying them.
We get a lose Owens lose chant, quickly overtaken by a fight Owens fight chant. But the idea that the seed is there in the audience for that everybody's still pro
The
Sami.
crowd is split.
We saw Sami's new shirt, Sami and the Zaniacs, where it's him and his Newsboys
He
cap.
had new gear tonight.
He did. Yeah.
Checker.
But he still had all of the symbols on it. He did.
All of the
Yeah. Not like the world stuff,
Right.
but the lettering.
Yes.
The length.
I think they need to change his music.
It's perfect.
Is it perfect?
The only thing that they need to change is have it be actual horns instead of MIDI horns.
That's what I think. That's what I mean.
MIDI horns can't fill the Tokyo Dome.
They're very clearly MIDI horns. That was my only complaint with the music.
Yeah. The song though, very catchy. It's in
But that's him
right
though.
now.
That's the music that he listens to. He likes bouncing souls. Like he likes that type. He likes ska. So that's his. If the song should identify you as well as be something that you can get into. Like when they hand people music, like, oh, this is your music. Like, sometimes it doesn't work with people. Like even though people don't like the like that stuff with John Cena, that's him. Like Tyler Breeze, that's him. Shawn Michaels, that's him. Triple H, Motorhead. You can look at that guy and go, that dude is front row in a damn Motorhead concert. So this is something where it's like I see that guy go and I go, yeah, he can be front row at a flipping ska show. Getting away from myself. This isn't the gimmick.
That's my gimmick. Yeah, you're right. Frenchman at this table.
One of the best things to start the match is Owens continuously not starting the match.
Oh, it was perfect.
It's
Just like, I want to fight. Not yet.
Mind games. That's what they said this man was about from the get-go. I wasn't sure I believed it, but this match proved it. He's all about getting inside of his opponent's head. Rent-free.
And we finally get kick-started. The ref is like, Owens, you got to get in the red. Because refs have their own language.
I'm sure their referee used words.
I don't speak zebra, so I have to
Sami Zayn dives over the referee onto Owens. And
that seems dangerous.
It was pretty dangerous. Pretty dangerous.
I don't know how well he could have seen Owens.
I think wrestling Kevin Owens is probably very dangerous.
Probably.
We saw how
certainly dangerous.
How strong his blows were, knocking Sami off of his feet with a series of corner clotheslines and just almost anything.
Off his
just
feet, like turning him inside out.
Yep.
Like his bones are on the outside for a second.
Just hanging him up any chance that he can, and you get the sense of he's in danger. Like this, it doesn't. At the very beginning, you're like Sami has fought bruisers like this before, but the fact that it started out so physical, just to get him on the ground, get him in shin locks, like dig his knee into his back.
It didn't take long for Owens to get in this position.
No.
It didn't take him very long to get on top. It's got to be because of the power.
He hung him up on the ropes with a vertical, like going for a vertical suplex, tossed him onto the ropes, and just ow.
Let me tell you, that has a lot of effect on your lower intestinal tract.
No, I know, dude.
Later that night, crapping blood, sort of thing.
All right.
Yeah.
AfterBuzz exclusive.
That's pleasant.
Yeah. So,
That's why I'm here.
And you know what's worse? Having to deal with that on a plane to Abu Dhabi. Cheers, Sami Zayn.
God.
And he's got contractual
Is
obligations.
Sami going to episode?
He went to Abu Dhabi.
Well,
He was like,
he speaks the language.
well, no, but also it was a terrible thing. Like it was an image of him at the airport, and he was like, as terrible as things went last night, I've got a job to do. And as he was getting on the plane, just grossness, tons and tons of grossness. That's a lot of what I have.
It's literally all it's written there.
Yeah, gross. A lot of really gross chops. Like, gross is a word that I've been using a lot lately, just because that's what it is.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to take it. That's what.
No, but also you look and you just go, ugh. Like it's gross. You get a bad taste in your mouth. The gut buster. A gut immediately to senton. And it looks bad. Sami starts trying to rev himself up, get his adrenaline moving. Right back into a headlock.
Every opportunity, he just kept bringing him back down, and
one of my favorite moments, which might be one of the things we were talking about earlier with a way to cover it, is Sami slowly getting up, tries to slap Owens in the face, open face slap. You missed, and then hits him and just straight up hits him.
He just kept laughing in his face like he was nothing, like he was absolutely nothing. It's terribly crushing. But it makes you angry.
Nope.
Anger is your friend.
Hits him with a bunch of elbows, some clotheslines on the outside, throws him into the stairs, gets him back in the ring, and hits a blue thunder bomb. Spectacularly.
Owens.
Huge Owens. Like that. If that didn't make you go, holy, there's a chance. So you're telling me there's a chance. It was that moment. But Owens comes right back, ends up hitting what they're calling the cannonball in the corner. The pump handle neck breaker is kind of what it looks like.
Pump handle skull crusher.
Yeah. All right. Okay, I'll give it to you.
I'm gonna break your head.
Just quick little dip onto the knee. Sami reverses the pop-up powerbomb. Hits him with the half Nelson suplex.
Switch suplex.
Oh yeah, switch. Okay, sorry. Yeah. And they said something. I was like, that looked like a half Nelson.
Well, it's a half Nelson and a chicken wing.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Sami hits all of his stuff except for the haluva. He goes for a moonsault on the outside, springboard moonsault, and lands on Owens, but it looks like he hits the back of his head. And he seems shaken by it, and everybody's like, well, hold on. We've seen the whole concussion gimmick before. Anyway, that aside.
Well, like Mick Foley famously said, when does your sport stop? Because ours doesn't stop when you're not going.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. And he sets up for the haluva kick in the ring, and he kind of trips a little, and that made me go, no. Just like, no, you're okay.
But even the ref went, hey man, are you? I'm good.
Yeah, and totally good. Totally. God. How many did they say? Like Owens hits another pop-up powerbomb, just hitting him as the medical personnel are looking at him, hitting him in the back of the head, everything.
It was, I think, four
total.
Four or five in total.
I think it was five total because he hit the first one.
It was one
and
pop
then,
and then four.
And hits two power bombs again. Sami literally just like just ekes out of a 2 count. So he's still there, but he goes up and hits him again with 2 more power bombs. And here's what would have made me like it. They stopped the match, and Kevin Owens won by knockout.
Yeah.
You've got a dude who's wearing a shirt that says KO, and you don't say winner by KO.
Winner by
How easy is that?
referee stoppage, even if it's a TKO, because it's a TKO.
It's a technical knockout, but it's like because the referee stopped the match. That I've never seen that in a wrestling book before. Kevin Owens is our new NXT champion.
And he celebrates like a champion should, while the rest of the audience goes, "You're an asshole."
That's the thing. That was
That's perfect.
It's like, I did it. Like, there was no
Collectively
fanfare.
hate you.
Yeah, and he's just standing over Sami, and that was the end of the show. And before we end the show, which is coming up, what'd you guys think of the match?
So good.
I've said this. I said this to you before. I didn't actually get a chance to say it on air. Kevin Owens is slated and truly has become at this point NXT's Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Come in, kill everything that moves, and walk away with
Kill
gold.
Owens, kill.
They actually made that comparison during the match where they said,
Yes, they did.
Said
I
for-
said it for
You've been saying it before the reference.
Yeah,
thing.
no, he's been saying it for a while.
I'm smart.
Great show. Overall, great show. There were a couple of hiccups, and it looks like
They're only human.
They're only human.
Perfection is not attainable.
yeah, Curtis
Come
Axel,
close.
Tyler Breeze. Well, arguably Tyler Breeze. Anyway,
look at him.
the post-show interviews were great. It looks like Baron and Bull are done. He's like, I beat the guy 3 times. I've got bigger fish to fry. Essentially, was what he said. So that's good.
Yeah,
because we
'cause
get a
then-
chance to have Bull do something.
Well, unless he does nothing.
then-
The alternative is also nothing.
I recommend everybody go look up Kevin Owens' interview. I could describe it, but he is such a jerk. It's just oh my god, and it's Renee again, but it's just like. Fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. NXT Rival, another wonderful show in the books. They're revving up for a lot. Hopefully, we get to see some of them at WrestleMania proper.
Yes.
They may be going on the road as well.
They
Ooh,
are. They're going. Triple H announced in a conference call that they're going to be doing house shows on the road, not just Ohio. Ohio was the first one.
Right.
Yeah.
And hopefully later in the year they might make it West Coast. And if they do make it to the West Coast, who would you like to see in studio or us to go out and interview? Let us know in the comments down below. Let us know on Twitter. Speaking of Twitter, where can the folks find you?
I'm right here, right now. No, I'm at Steve. I'm
There
at
he
Steve
is.
Kaufman, Kaufmann. I host Modern Family, Gotham, and Suits as well. I'm the most versatile host here.
Well, that's what you say. I'm about to go work tech for 4 hours. How's that for versatile? Put yourself over, Hobo.
You can follow me on Twitter at SureHoboProWrestlingTees.com/hobo. Buy a shirt. I do the Patreon gimmick for.
Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. United
yeah.
Wrestling Federation.
Yeah, I guess I'm wrestling Willie Mack on television.
You are?
Saturday night. I really want to see it.
Yeah, that's a late show. I can't believe you guys are actually wrestling at 3 a.m. It's live. You can find me on Twitter at SoapboxMark. You can find me also at the Gimmick Pod. That's where myself and my friend Brandon Taylor, we talk wrestling, and we're going to be talking wrestling soon. Maybe not tonight, but soon. Follow it. It's great. Follow us all here at AfterBuzz TV, and we will see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.